Welcome to Stoic Citadel. Alright, let's get real. Ever notice how some people just love to test your boundaries? They interrupt, make passive-aggressive comments, or act like your time and feelings are optional, and we're supposed to just smile and let it slide? Not today. If you're done putting up with people who don't respect you, this video is for you. Today, I'm breaking down brutally honest, maybe a little controversial, ways to handle disrespect without losing your cool and without sacrificing your self-respect. So buckle up, because by the end of this, you'll have every tool you need to show people exactly where the line is drawn. But before we begin, please like and subscribe to this channel. Let's dive in. 1. Embrace the silent stare. Alright, let's start with one of my all-time favorite, slightly savage techniques. The silent stare. Now you might be thinking, really? Just staring? Yes, trust me on this. When someone's being openly rude or disrespectful, nothing throws them off more than a long, calm, completely unbothered stare. Here's why it works. People who disrespect others are usually looking for a reaction. They want you to stammer, get flustered, maybe even snap back. They're looking to drag you into their drama, make you question yourself, or feel small. But when you just look at them, no words, no expressions, suddenly the power dynamic flips. I get it. This might sound a little passive-aggressive, but hear me out. There's something deeply unsettling about someone who doesn't give the reaction they were expecting. When you hold a steady, silent stare, you're saying without a word, I'm not playing this game with you. It's a way of reclaiming control without even lifting a finger. Let me tell you about a time this technique worked like magic. I was in a group meeting where one guy kept talking over me, cutting me off like he was on a mission. You know the type. Loud, overconfident, thinking everyone's there to listen to his wisdom. I tried interjecting, tried being polite, but he wouldn't stop. So finally, I just looked at him. I leaned back in my chair, crossed my arms, and held his gaze. No blinking, no expression, just stared for 5 solid seconds. I said nothing. You could feel the tension build, and the best part? Everyone else at the table started looking at him too, wondering what he'd do. You know what happened? He got uncomfortable, stumbled over his words, and suddenly looked anywhere but at me. He didn't interrupt me for the rest of the meeting. That silent stare did more than any words could have. It didn't just stop his behavior in the moment. He actually started treating me with more respect after that, as if he'd finally realized I wasn't someone he could just bulldoze. Sometimes, you have to show people who you are without saying a word. When you embrace the silent stare, it's like a reminder to them, and to yourself, that you don't have to dance to someone else's tune. You don't owe anyone an emotional reaction, and you don't have to prove yourself to people who don't see your worth. This is about reclaiming your space, your peace, and your dignity. Too often, when someone is disrespectful, we feel an urge to defend ourselves, to make our case, or worse, to let it slide because we don't want to create a scene. But the silent stare isn't about being aggressive. It's about showing that you're grounded, unbothered, and unapologetically in control of your own emotions. It's also about accountability. People who are used to disrespecting others often do it without even thinking. They've never been called out, never faced real consequences for treating others poorly. When you give them that silent, deadpan look, it's like you're holding up a mirror. Suddenly, they're left alone with their own behavior. You're not telling them they're wrong. You're showing them. And most people don't like to see themselves like that. That's why this works. I've noticed that this silent stare tactic does more than just get the other person to back off. It also strengthens your sense of self-worth. When you stand there, silent and still, you're reminding yourself that their words or actions can't shake you. I used to be the type who'd nervously laugh off rude comments or try to explain myself when someone questioned my choices. But honestly, that just drained my energy and made me feel worse. Learning to just look at someone, to let that silence fill the room without backing down, was a game changer. It feels like a small act of defiance, a quiet but powerful declaration of self-respect. So, if someone's being rude, pushing boundaries, or making you feel less than, try the silent stare. Just look at them. Let them feel the weight of your calm. You'll be surprised at how uncomfortable it makes them, and how empowered it makes you feel. The silent stare says, I respect myself too much to get dragged into your negativity. And that's a message worth sending. 2. Use silence as your response. Silence is a weapon far more potent than words. When someone disrespects you, refusing to engage can be one of the most empowering things you can do. It communicates strength, self-control, and emotional maturity. Disrespectful people often crave attention. They thrive on provoking reactions, whether it's anger, defensiveness, or even just an acknowledgement of their behavior. They're looking for a way to justify their actions or validate their influence over you. When you respond with silence, you deny them that power. You're essentially saying, your behavior is beneath my attention. I once dealt with a coworker who loved to disguise insults as jokes. He'd throw passive-aggressive comments during meetings, expecting me to react or laugh it off uncomfortably. One day, after he made a jab about my work, I simply looked at him, raised an eyebrow, and said nothing. The silence in the room was deafening. That quiet pause held more power than any witty comeback ever could. It made him uncomfortable, and he never tried it again. Silence is not a sign of weakness. It's a conscious choice to protect your energy and maintain your peace. It allows you to rise above petty behavior and send a clear message. I don't have time for this. When you refuse to engage with disrespect, you rob it of its impact. Over time, people learn that you're not an easy target, and they'll think twice before trying to provoke you. Silence is also a way to reclaim your mental and emotional space. Instead of wasting energy crafting a response, you can focus on things that truly matter. And the best part? Silence often says more than words ever could. 3. Stop explaining your choices. How often have you found yourself justifying your decisions to others? Whether it's a career change, a lifestyle choice, or even a simple preference, people always seem to want an explanation. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone one. Explaining your choices often opens the door for judgment, criticism, or unwanted advice. People may claim they're trying to understand, but more often than not, they're looking to challenge or impose their own views. By refusing to explain, you reclaim your autonomy and set a boundary that says, my decisions are mine to make. I remember when I decided to leave a stable corporate job to pursue a passion project. Friends and family bombarded me with questions. Why would you leave such a secure position? What if it doesn't work out? At first, I felt the need to justify my decision, laying out all my reasons in detail. But their skepticism only grew, and I realized I was wasting my energy. So, I started responding with, because I wanted to. The simplicity of that answer left no room for debate. Eventually, the questions stopped. Your choices are valid simply because they're yours. You don't need anyone else's approval to live your life the way you see fit. Confidence in your decisions will always speak louder than explanations. When you stop explaining, you free yourself from the need for external validation. And in doing so, you step into a more authentic and empowered version of yourself. 4. Keep your distance. Sometimes, the healthiest way to deal with disrespect is to create distance. Not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's an act of self-respect. Think of your life as an exclusive club with limited seating. Only those who bring positivity, respect, and support should have VIP access. If someone consistently disrespects you, it's okay to step back and limit your interactions with them. This isn't about being cruel or confrontational. It's about prioritizing your mental and emotional well-being. I once had a friend who constantly made snide remarks about my goals and achievements. At first, I dismissed it as their way of joking, but over time, their words started to weigh on me. I realized that their negativity was draining me, so I decided to pull back. I stopped sharing personal details with them, saw them less often, and focused on relationships that uplifted me instead. The result? A sense of freedom and clarity I hadn't felt in years. Distance allows you to see relationships for what they truly are. It gives you the space to evaluate who adds value to your life and who drains it. And remember, even family members or longtime friends aren't exempt from this. Just because someone has been in your life for a long time doesn't mean they deserve to stay if they consistently disrespect you. Creating distance isn't about burning bridges. It's about building boundaries. It's about choosing peace over chaos and self-respect over obligation. 5. Set clear boundaries. One of the most direct and effective ways to handle disrespect is by setting firm boundaries. Boundaries communicate what you will and won't tolerate, and they teach others how to treat you. Setting boundaries doesn't have to be confrontational. It's about being clear, concise, and unwavering. For instance, if someone constantly interrupts you, you can calmly say, "I'd like to finish my point before we move on." If someone makes a hurtful comment, address it directly. "I don't appreciate remarks like that." These simple statements let the other person know their behavior is unacceptable without escalating the situation. Here's the thing. People who disrespect you often push limits because they've never been challenged. By setting boundaries, you're teaching them that there are consequences to their actions. And if they can't respect your boundaries, that's a clear sign they don't deserve a place in your life. Boundaries are also about respecting yourself. When you set them, you're saying, "I value my peace, my time, and my energy." You're prioritizing your well-being over someone else's comfort. For me, setting boundaries was a game changer. There was a time when I struggled to say no, because I didn't want to seem rude or difficult. But the more I allowed people to overstep, the more drained and resentful I felt. When I finally started setting boundaries, I noticed a shift, not just in how others treated me, but in how I viewed myself. I felt more confident, more in control, and more at peace. Remember, boundaries aren't walls, they're guidelines. They're not about shutting people out, but about showing them how to interact with you in a way that's healthy and respectful. And the best part? The more you practice setting boundaries, the easier it becomes. Distance gives you clarity, strength, and the ability to focus on what truly matters: your peace and your personal growth. When you prioritize your well-being, you're not just making a choice for the moment. You're setting the tone for your future relationships. It's a powerful act of self-respect that paves the way for meaningful connections with people who uplift and inspire you. Now, here's another challenge for you. As you embrace this journey of self-respect and growth, pay attention to how your inner dialogue shifts. Every step you take toward valuing yourself, whether it's creating boundaries, holding your head high, or walking away from negativity, reinforces the belief that you're deserving of respect and kindness. It's a message you send to yourself every day. Respect, after all, starts within. The more you respect yourself, the less you'll tolerate anything that doesn't align with your sense of worth. And that's when life begins to transform. You start attracting the kind of people who mirror your confidence and who add to your life rather than drain it. You also become a role model for others, showing them what it looks like to live authentically and unapologetically. So, as you step into this new mindset, remember to be patient with yourself. Growth takes time. Building self-respect and confidence is a process, not a destination. There will be moments when it's challenging, moments when doubt creeps in, but those are the times to dig even deeper. Remind yourself why you started. Reflect on how far you've come. And most importantly, keep going. If this message resonates with you, let it be your reminder that you have the power to rewrite your narrative. You can choose self-respect over people-pleasing, growth over comfort, and peace over chaos. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Thank you for watching, and for investing this time in yourself. If you found value here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs a little encouragement. Your journey is yours, but you never know who might be inspired by your strength and your story. Drop a comment below and let us know how you're working on respecting yourself and setting boundaries. We'd love to hear about it. Until next time, take care of yourself, stand tall, and never forget, you are enough, just as you are. Respect starts with you. What is Stoicism? A comprehensive guide to the ancient philosophy of resilience and virtue. Have you ever wondered how to navigate life's inevitable challenges with grace and strength? Do you seek a philosophy that empowers you to take control of your emotions, decisions, and destiny? If so, Stoicism might hold the answers you're looking for. This ancient philosophy, born in the bustling streets of Athens over 2,000 years ago, remains a powerful guide to modern living. The origins of Stoicism. Stoicism originated in the 3rd century BCE in Athens, founded by Zeno of Citium. After losing his wealth in a shipwreck, Zeno found solace in philosophy and began studying under prominent thinkers like Crates the Cynic. He eventually developed his own school of thought, teaching in the Stoa Poikile, painted porch, in Athens, which gave the philosophy its name. Zeno's teachings were later refined and expanded by prominent figures such as Cleanthes, Chrysippus, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. Each of these Stoics contributed significantly to shaping the philosophy into a practical and ethical way of life. Core principles of Stoicism. At its heart, Stoicism is a philosophy of personal ethics informed by its system of logic and views on the natural world. Here are its fundamental principles. Control what you can, accept what you can't. The cornerstone of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. According to Epictetus, some things are within our power, while others are not. Stoics focus on what they can control, their thoughts, actions, and attitudes, and accept external events as they come. Live according to nature. Living in harmony with nature means understanding the rational order of the universe and aligning your actions with it. This involves fulfilling your role as a rational and social being. Cultivate virtue above all else. For Stoics, virtue is the highest good and the key to a fulfilling life. The 4 cardinal virtues are: wisdom, the ability to navigate complex situations rationally; courage, facing challenges and adversity with bravery; justice, treating others fairly and with integrity; temperance, practicing self-control and moderation. Practice negative visualization. Stoics prepare for life's challenges by imagining worst-case scenarios. This technique, known as premeditatio malorum, premeditation of evils, helps build resilience and reduce fear. Embrace the present moment. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, frequently emphasizes the importance of living in the present. Dwelling on the past or worrying about the future only detracts from the life you're living now. Stoicism in practice. Stoicism is not a philosophy confined to abstract thought. It's a practical guide for daily living. Here's how you can apply Stoic principles in your life. Journaling. Reflect on your day through journaling. Marcus Aurelius wrote Meditations as a personal exercise in self-improvement. Mindfulness and meditation. Practice mindfulness to stay aware of your thoughts and emotions. This helps you respond to situations rationally rather than react impulsively. Daily reflection. Spend time each evening reviewing your actions. Ask yourself, did I act with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance today? Reframe challenges. View obstacles as opportunities for growth. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Focus on your circle of control. When faced with difficulties, identify what's within your control. Focus your energy there and let go of what you can't influence. Stoicism's relevance in modern times. Why has Stoicism endured for over 2 millennia? Because its principles are timeless and universally applicable. Here's how Stoicism can help in today's world. Emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable, but Stoicism teaches you to remain calm and composed, no matter the circumstances. Improved decision-making. By focusing on reason and virtue, Stoicism helps you make ethical and well-considered decisions. Stress reduction. Accepting what you can't control alleviates anxiety and stress. Stronger relationships. Practicing justice and temperance fosters understanding, empathy, and fairness in your interactions. Personal growth. Stoicism encourages continuous self-improvement, helping you become the best version of yourself. Famous Stoic quotes. Stoicism's wisdom is encapsulated in many powerful quotes. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca. Man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them. Epictetus. Conclusion. Embracing Stoicism. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a way of life. By practicing its principles, you can cultivate resilience, virtue, and inner peace. Whether you're navigating personal challenges, striving for professional success, or simply seeking greater fulfillment, Stoicism offers a timeless roadmap to living a meaningful life. So why not begin your Stoic journey today? Start small. Reflect on what's within your control, practice gratitude, and strive to act virtuously in every situation. Over time, you'll find that Stoicism doesn't just change the way you think, it transforms the way you live.